Hi guys, and welcome back to the finale of this mini series that we've been running. The season is finished. We know who stayed up. We know who's gone down. We know who's smiling and who's not. And we thought it was worth doing a wrap up just to see everyone's post thoughts on what happened on this crazy weekend. That didn't end up being that crazy. So make sure you've liked, make sure you subscribe to all the channels. We are Tottenham TV, we are Forest Fan TV, and of course West Ham Fan TV. Did I say we are Forest Fan TV? No, we're just Forest Fan TV.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can join the family if you want, Wolfie.
And let us know in the comments how happy about where you finished you are. Obviously, that'll be subjective based on your team. Boys, where should we start, man? We met up.
Let's start here, Wolfie. Let's start here because you are the one that is most in the mud here than anyone else. Not Nikki, not Nikki, not us. You are the one that is in the mud here. We all got what we wanted. We stayed up. Nikki wanted to go down. He got what he wanted. You and Lawless staying up every night till 3 a.m, texting each other, figuring out plans, how to relegate Tottenham. But what's happened now? We've stayed up. West Ham have gone down. You're the one that's in the mud here.
Well, Lawless isn't really speaking to me. He blames me. He said, you promised me Nuno would keep us up. You said Nuno was going to be there. I said, I'd never said all that. I said, yes, I did. I'll show you the receipts and all this. So he's upset at me. I don't know if he's just lashing out or what have you. I'm upset at him because he enabled you guys to stay up. So yeah, I'm not too pleased with how the weekend went. I had my brother around and we were doing like a triple watch along. Forest game, the West Ham and the Spurs game. So yeah, he was quite cocky at the start of the game, which was weird. He was like, yeah, we're fine. There's no way we go down and what have you. And
he was spot on.
Huh?
He was spot on.
Yeah, he was.
He's absolutely right. I think you're the most upset here, Wolfie, out of everyone.
It's not about being upset, right? It's about, it would have been so funny to see you guys in the championship. I just want to know how much of that 60k stadium would have been filled up. That's what I would have loved to have seen.
You'll never know, Wolfie. You'll never know.
Well, we'll find out maybe in another year's time, because all I'm hearing right now, I don't know if you've been hearing this, Nikki, is that next season under De Zerbi, Spurs are going to be back in Europe because De Zerbi works his magic. It's like they don't learn. This is back-to-back seasons now, 17th. And I've never seen a fan base shamelessly celebrate 17th like the so-called Big Six team did. It was absolutely embarrassing. From your managers down to your players.
If you're in our position, Wolfie, you would have celebrated it as well.
No, but we aren't called a Big Six team. That's my point, Ben. Like,
it's
a Big
relief.
Six
it's
team
relief.
celebrating survival in the Premier League.
You always say you're bigger than us. You always say you're a big club.
How many stars you got? How many stars you got on your badge?
But we're not classed as Big Six.
Doesn't matter. You say
no, it does matter. You guys saying it was
in your opinion, you're bigger than us. And you
in my opinion, but in Sky's opinion. All right, who are Sky's Big Six teams?
I don't care. I don't care.
So I make the decisions now.
I'm just saying, in your opinion.
Look at the arrogance. Last week they were all humble, Nikki, and like, yeah, we're worried and all this. Now
it's over now. It's over now.
Suddenly the true colours are all out.
We're coming for you, Wolfie.
You can come for me, mate, but you still got to look up to find my club. It's above yours. So
not for long, mate. Not for long.
Oh, he started already.
I saw Marouakis. I saw he's getting to fist fights. He's going prison, bro. I saw him. He's trying to knock people out. What's he doing? He's losing his mind.
I'd get involved, but I haven't got an horse in this race anymore, man. I'm looking at Lincoln and Millwall. That's what I'm looking at.
God, man.
At least you get to go to a few new stadiums, Nikki.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking
forward
to it.
Let's start with that, Nikki. We'll come to the games in a second, but how are you feeling on this relegation thing? Like, where do you sit? Because I know Lawless is crying about it, but you're slightly different.
But yeah, let him cry. Let him cry. I'm sure there's, we all see the video of the guy crying at the understand. And listen, it's gutting. It is gutting. It's horrible to watch your club fail, and that's what I watched. I watched my club fail, but I'm not one of them fans that the Premier League is the be all and end all of football. I am very much looking forward to a season in the Championship, going to, as you said, going to new. And I know people are going, he's coping. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we didn't survive. We weren't good enough over the season. The table doesn't lie. It does not lie. That's one thing that you can say. And over the season, and when it came to the crunch time, and we had chances to put them down, we couldn't get it over the line. We wasn't good enough. We deserve what we got. And I've got a little bit of a more sort of humble attitude and more relieved attitude, because I now know that we can't affect the results on and off the pitch. We cannot. You know what I mean? But now our chairman, who I hate with all my heart, is going to suffer for a year. And that, although I'm going to suffer with him, I've suffered for 10 years, more or less, in that stadium. Let him fucking suffer for a little while. That, with all of the statements and stuff that came out after, you can tell now they are on their fucking knees, which is glorious to see. Glorious.
Did he have to be escorted out at like half time or something?
No, he went about 10 minutes after the end. It started to get nasty in there. And I knew it would. Because the man's a barefaced liar. The man has done his best over the last 10 years with this cushion of the Premier League to sort of sit there and say, get what you're given and be grateful with it, because that wasn't what he was saying before we moved. And now, that our fears of, or our warnings, not fears, but our warnings of what is going to happen if this carries on that way, has actually come to fruition. People are starting to say, now what? We've been telling you need to go. We've been telling you cannot run the club. We've been telling you're leading this club down the garden path. And now we're there. Now it is time for you to pack your bags and, quite frankly, fuck off and leave us to get on with it, because what you've done to this football club is unforgivable. It's criminal what he's done. And it was good to see.
But Nicky, that's all well and good, mate. I'm not getting vibes like he's going though. They've sat down, they've planned. We'll talk about the decision of the manager in a minute and what have you. But I saw a picture of his missus standing on the club emblem, saying, we start onwards and upwards, or whatever she said about it. She got all kinds of abuse for it. But it doesn't. I'm not getting vibes like there's a sellout coming.
I'm just going to tell you this now, right? And just heed these words. Let's see where he is come Monday. And I'm going to say no more than that, because there's legal things. Let's see where he is come Monday. Watch the TV on Monday night, and then we'll see where he is on Tuesday.
Also, isn't there some kind of panorama thing on Friday night? Is that something?
I'm trying to avoid that. It's Monday.
Oh, okay.
It's on Monday.
On Monday. All right.
But will he, regardless of what you're saying, in terms of, will he actually be the one that suffers? There's 150 million you have to make up in sales now due to the disparity in financials. So if you sell all those players and then you buy a load of other players to start for the Championship that are cheaper, what's he losing out on exactly? He's losing out on the Premier League money, but he's making up with it in loads of sales.
Yeah, I think when we watched yesterday, we watched Crystal Palace win the Conference League. Congratulations, Crystal Palace. But I think what it is I think now that people are starting to wake up, because everyone's saying, we won your European trophy. Fuck me, Crystal Palace won it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, we didn't win the Champions League. We won the Conference League, which I am forever grateful for. But, all of this nonsense that he's fed the media and fed everyone, all of this sort of security blanket that he's had for all of his tenure there, you would have listened to it every time that you mention the failure. Yeah, but you won a European Cup since you moved there. You've won a European Cup. So have Crystal Palace, and they're in they played a sardine tin. So the stadium has done absolutely nothing. It's done nothing to the legacy of the football club, and we would have won it. And that's the proof. We would have won that if we was at Upton Park. There is nothing connected to that stadium, and all of this nonsense that he's been feeding the media. And now they're starting to turn on him, And as I said before, Monday night there's something coming out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But I think his lies and his deceit are starting to be exposed, and people are starting to see him for what he is. So he is an egomaniac. That he's a pretender. He's a faker. He's a Del Boy. He's an Arthur Daly, and that might be a reference that you boys don't remember. But You know, he is one of them type of characters. And finally, people are starting to see him for what he is, and that's a fucking fraud. And, you know, I think the pressure starts to ramp up now. So whether or not he's going to be gone now is one thing, but I do think there's going to now start to be plans for, let's get the fuck out of here, because, you know, this could get worse and worse and worse.
Has there been any talk about anyone interested or like in buying West Ham or anything like that?
Kretinsky's he's slowly increasing his stake, and I think Kretinsky's been very smart in terms of business, and I think this is exactly what Kretinsky wanted. Is he wanted us down, because now the club isn't worth what he values it at, and then now he can start increasing his stake and offering less money. Kretinsky's a smart businessman. I don't think they're going to let it go to the wall. But as I said before, that £150 million that they had to make up, and I said this last week when we met up, they had to make that up anyway. You know, it's going to be a little bit more now because we drop a little bit of TV money, but trying to stay in the league by selling in players and then trying to rebuild again by selling the players and being in a lesser competitive league. And listen, I'm not adverse to the dangers it does, because it does hold, because we've just seen what's happened to Leicester City, so we have to be very careful. But you know, now they're keeping the manager. Now there's talking of a couple of players staying, and if you want to, you know, progress and build again, we need to start from that point. I think that would have been very, very tough to start doing in the Premier League without the players that we've got to sell anyway. So
yeah. I read a report. There's only 5 players you want to keep. There was Hermansen, Mavropanos, Bowen, Tati Castellanos.
Yeah, and I think that would be a great spine as well. I think that would be a great spine if we can keep Bowen, if we can keep Tati, if we can keep Mavropanos, and I think that's your captain right there, and we can keep maybe Souček, because there's a couple of good youngsters to go in there that will do well in the Championship. I think we'll have a good spine there, and I think we'll get out of it at first time of asking. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. No, you know, there's no doubt about it. And you know, the future is still up in the air in terms of what we see in the stadium, because you know that place was rocking on Sunday, and by the time it got to sort of like the 70th, 80th minute, people just accepted that we'd gone, and then the conversation started to turn towards him, and the more he's uncomfortable sitting there, because him and his girlfriend can sit there and fucking, you know, take all their pictures and all of that sort of thing. It's not so much of a fucking... He's an egomaniac. And it's not so much of a flex when you're sitting there as a Championship club when you've got Lincoln coming to a 60,000-seat stadium. So I'm glad it happened, because it would have been a torturous year. This year's been bad enough. Next year would have been torturous. And I'm looking forward to building again and seeing what we can build again. So,
would you anticipate the crowds are going to be like next season at home?
Well, we'll probably get 3/4, I think. But we'll see. I think it depends on the fixture. But yeah, I think we'll get 3/4 full.
It's mad. It's mad how things work out, especially with Jarrod Bowen. Do you think Jarrod will stay? Because when you signed him off Hull in the Championship right at the time.
It's funny, yeah. And
now Hull have been promoted, and he's gone down with you guys.
He's 30. He's pushing 30. He's pushing 30. His England chances have gone down the pan now. Yeah. So I think he's going to be looking at that and thinking, well, I haven't got England to play for anymore. Remember when Parker left, he left for his England place. Okay. And I think now that he's England player, he didn't get in the World Cup squad. I think he's lost his chance to go to the World Cup now. I don't think he's ever going to go to the World Cup if he don't get in at 30. Maybe the Euros, but he can, if we don't go back up the first year, he can leave and still have a good season to get into the Euro squad. But I think that England place was everything. And I believe he'll give us another year. At the end of the day, he's going to get to a point where, as I said before, like you go to Chelsea, he won't go to Tottenham. He's not that silly, because after what he's done at West Ham, he's got a job there for life, and he's going to ruin that. A bit like Parker did when he went to Tottenham, and I understand why Parker did it, and that come out years later. Why Parker, chose Tottenham over anyone else, and that was, it was quite a touching tribute to his dad, what he done there. But he would have a job for life. He won't ruin it, because once he finishes, he can come back there as an ambassador, as a coach. You know, he's always going to be welcome back at West Ham. The fans will always embrace him, unless he goes to somewhere like Tottenham. And the only worst one, and that is Millwall. So
I think his stepdad won't let it happen anyway.
No, yeah, it's his father-in-law, but he will.
Father-in-law, I mean,
yeah. I don't think he's going to let that happen, but I think he'll stay now. I think that England place was everything. He's lost out on that, and I think to himself, he's going to give us at least one more year, I believe.
This should have been a conversation we're having with you boys, man. But
well, it ain't for you, unfortunately for you. In terms of that 150 million, Nicky, is that attainable? You think? Do you see that 150 million in your squad?
Yeah.
Well, where's it coming from?
Fernandes will go for 80.
80.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah, go for it.
Surely if you stayed up, it'll be 80. Is it not going to be a bit of a discount now that you're going down?
There's 4 or 5 clubs after him now, and it's Arsenal, Man United, PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich are looking at him.
He's good. He's not 80 million's worth, man.
It's what you pay for.
What did you pay? 40, 45, wasn't it? Around that mark?
Million, yeah, he's not going to go for.
I reckon he goes for 50, 60.
If he goes for 60, then you got half of it back. But I think he'll go for 80 if the clubs are interested. 21 years old, fantastic season for in a struggling side. He's the future's big for him. You've got Diouf, who I think will go for 20, 25. I don't know why.
Rubbish, man.
Somerville will probably go for 40, and there it is. Yeah. There's the money.
150.
Yeah.
What about Nuno? It's been confirmed now. He's staying on. How do you feel about that? Because he's actually a good manager for the Championship. He'll get you back up.
I think I'm interested to see what he builds for himself. What he can do when he's got full control. At the end of the day, look, some of the stories of the players that was, towards the end, and you start to think like, was he given a good bunch of players? Because, I've heard stories about people refusing to go to photo shoots and things like that. And, them sort of people who are looking to get out of the club, it's never good. And obviously he come in and he clashed with a few, with a few players. And when you look at that, you think to yourself, well, if he can get rid of them and get players that he gets on with, that he can work with and all that, it'll probably be a better what's the word? Atmosphere.
Environment,
yeah, a better environment for everyone to go to work in. When you listen, football players are humans, and the way he treats some of the players there, the way he treated James Ward-Prowse, I think was disgusting. Out of the squad, don't even give him a chance. And I know
what the beef was there, Nicky? Sorry to interrupt you.
Because he was a Forest, wasn't he?
I have heard something about calling him Baldy or something.
Yeah, that's legit. He did that at Forest. He did it at Forest.
Yeah.
And he just held a grudge.
Yeah, he kicked him out of the Forest team, cut his loan short in January. Yeah. And then Ward-Prowse must have been thinking, oh, thank God that's over. And then he turns up on his doorstep again. The first thing he does is axe him.
And Nuno said, James knows why he's not involved, and that's it. He said that when he took over at West Ham. So he must be talking about that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
But, he called me Baldy.
But mate, maybe he's a stickler for discipline. Some of these managers are, you got to respect him. If that's what he demands, then that's what he demands. And if you're fucking going against it, you're all well and good to get reprimanded by the manager. And if he fucking said,
but holding a grudge from a different club's a bit much, isn't it?
Well, it's I don't know how deep it went. I don't know how deep it went. I know John Claire Todibo refused to play for him at the end.
Yeah.
But then you don't need the players like that. I never, ever, ever want a player at my club, and I don't care who it is. I wouldn't care if it was Lionel Messi that doesn't want to play for you. They're pointless. They are pointless. And, let him get out of the deadwood. He'll sell who he wants to sell. And the good professionals, the ones that we need to stand up. I think Tatty is excellent. He's an excellent professional. Was he the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen? Absolutely not. But as I said before, I like a player that gives his all. And fuck me, did he give his all? And, Pablo might be okay there in the Championship. You get a good partnership there. You keep the likes of Bowen, and if you can, I've got a feeling we can't keep Mavropanos. someone's got to buy Kilman. Fuck knows who's going to buy him, but unless there's a job on the council going or something. But
go back to Wolves.
Yeah, maybe. But he's got to reshuffle the squad, and we'll see how he gets on. But he's got
been popular. Has he been welcome that he's permanently staying for the fans?
Not by law.
Well, I don't think it's. I've had a little think about this, and I was a bit annoyed at the time. But then, they said about that they backed him and all that. When he came in, they didn't give him any of his backroom staff, which was fucking atrocious. So they haven't backed him really. So let's see.
Yeah, but he fell out with his assistant manager. I think Silva went to Wolves. And I think he was a lot of the brains behind the outfit. If you look at what happened with Forest, Silva was brilliant at Forest. And then if you look at Wolves, he joined, I think, a couple of weeks after Rob Edwards came. And then suddenly Wolves had a bit of an uptick in form as well. So there's a lot to be said about him. But I think they fell out. I'm not sure what the story is behind there because he didn't come to West Ham, obviously. But let me give you some.
He does seem to fall out a lot with people.
He does. This is the thing with Nuno. Nuno fell out with the ownership at Wolves. I was speaking to my mate Dave about it. They all loved him at Wolves. And then obviously he fell out with the ownership at Forest because he clashed with Edu. But what I will say before you get to that clash, and that clash will be inevitable, with a pre-season, Forest under Nuno in that first pre-season transformed unbelievably because he came in, Cooper left, I think, in December. And then Nuno just about got us over the line. Luckily, we had teams like Luton and those shitters that were underneath us. But the pre-season is where it all changed for Forest. He got a full pre-season and kept him out in Portugal for God knows how long. And he came back just a completely different team. So I said this to Lawless. I thought he would limp you over the line and then give him a pre-season and you'll cook the following year. So maybe that will happen. But there will be a fallout at some point with Nuno. He's just that kind of guy.
I do appreciate that he's, because he could have walked away. He had no sort of contract there to say he had to stay. He could have walked away for nothing, and we could have sacked him for nothing. So the fact that they've sat down and they've discussed it, it is encouraging. It is encouraging. And listen, I'm never a man that's going to hold a grudge. You two boys, all you boys know that. I never hold a grudge.
Good point.
I'll be fair to Nicky. He called me straight after the final whistle, about an hour or two after the final whistle, wishing me congratulations. So
I didn't.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
You didn't.
No. What I will say on Nuno, though, from the fan point of view, it's amazing how it comes around and bites you in the ass. This is a guy who could have been in the Champions League, would definitely have been playing in Europa. I think he played one match for us in the Europa League, if I remember rightly. And he's ended up now managing championships. So sometimes he needs to learn to shut his mouth.
Wolf, I also say he had a pre-season at us as well, and it didn't go as well as
but you're a shit Forest. No, you say that. He had you top of the league and manager of the month, didn't he?
After a month, you're right.
Yeah.
He did, actually.
He won 3-0, 1-0 3 times in a row. I don't think we had a shot on target.
Yeah, it was like crosses that
is Nuno for you,
into the goal.
That is
crazy.
Nuno. But let's move this on to your boys' team. You know what annoyed me the most? There was no real drama. I was hoping for like something to happen late on. I think Kinky made a big save for him. Was it George? But even that would have just leveled it up against Everton. How was it for you guys in that? Because you scored. When did you get your goal? Just before half time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was what a fucking scrappy shitty goal.
Honestly.
They all count, Nicky. They
do, mate.
And you lot talk about Arsenal being corner FC. I've seen a lot of set pieces seem to be your only avenue. But anyway, that's by and by.
We would have gone down if it wasn't for set pieces this year.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm going to hear no slander on Arsenal set pieces.
Nottingham Forest used to be a good set piece team.
We were, and we were also very good at conceding them as well before Nuno.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was it? Because like, as I said, my brother was doing the watch along with me. He was quite relaxed about it, especially at half time. It was like 1-0. He's like, there's no way they're going to score 2 past us and what have you. I think you were 0-0 still at half time, weren't you? You were crap in that first half, by the way, Nicky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was hot. It's hot as well.
Yeah.
Was that feeding into you guys at the stadium? Like, were you aware of what was going on in the West Ham game?
I was just going out to get a drink because there was plenty of drinks going on in the stadium because it was so hot, and we saw that Spurs had scored. So by that time, you just start to think, and I think that fed through to the players as well. I think the pressure just got put off because then I think they just realised they wasn't in control. They're not in control of it. We cannot do anything unless Everton decide to fucking turn up and play a decent fucking team, and they didn't. So. Listen, at the end of the day, as I said before, no one owes you any favours in this league. Nobody. So, and I think that's what happened. I think the players went in at half-time. They saw that Tottenham were winning and they thought, well, the very least we can do is do what we can do. And if that happens, it happens. And if it don't, it don't. I think the pressure got taken off.
But what about you guys from the inverse? Because at half-time, you'd have seen 0-0 still.
I was in the studio, so Ben was in the ground.
Yeah, I was in the ground, and it was a big atmosphere. Probably one of the best atmospheres that we've had.
Oh, how was the bus parade, by the way?
I missed it. But no, the atmosphere was incredible, and I think the first half didn't really sense any nerves from the stands or anything like that. And I think we were well in control without putting ourselves ahead. Then we got that goal, and at half time it was a jubilant atmosphere. Then when West Ham started getting their goals, I think a few nerves started to creep in to the stands and maybe even onto the pitch. 1 goal goes in, 2 goals goes in, 3 goals goes in. And then Kinski makes that save. Van de Ven hits one off the line. And you're thinking, well, you know what? If 1 goes in for Everton, you never know what can happen from here until the end of the game. And I think it was nervy. And then we were just desperate for that final whistle, maybe for the last 5-10 minutes of the game. But in reality, as much as it did get nervy in that second half, I did always feel in control. And I did always feel that Spurs were going to get over the line.
They was in control, well in control. I was watching it myself. And do you know what I also would say as well? Shame on the fucking Premier League and shame on the fucking referees as well. Holding up a kickoff for communication issues is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Disgusting. And this is not the first time it's happened either.
Yeah,
didn't they used to make sure the second halves were all kicks, or was that just World Cup?
They have to. They have to. They have to. They should be kicking off at the same time, and that's what I'm saying. The Premier League really have to look at this because that could have been massive for either us or you guys. You know what I mean? Because if you hear that result and you've got time to change things, it's not fair. Everyone should be playing under the same circumstances, and that goes for us and you guys. I don't know it would have benefited, but. It's a lot of pressure to play under because of the fucking the Premier League and their fucking incompetent. At the end of the day, on the final day, you should be starting and finishing both halves at exactly the same time, bar injury time. And that's it. If their communications aren't working, then go without them because it's it shouldn't be like that.
And not kick off your game.
Not kick off any game, until that happens. And the fact is, and the fact of the matter is this is not the fucking first time this has happened this season. Buy some fucking Shaw stuff. Buy some Sennheiser stuff. You know what I mean? Stop going with the cheap shit.
They're getting it all from China. That's why.
Yeah.
But what does this mean now for Spurs? Apart from
let me tell you this, Wolfie. Let me tell you this. Leicester City. The year before they won the league, they finished on 41 points and -9 goal difference. Who knows, mate? Anything could happen next season.
They had an Italian manager. Just saying.
Who knows what could happen?
Where are Leicester now?
Doesn't matter where they are now. Where were they the next season?
You know what?
The league.
If what happens to Leicester means it happens to you, I'll gladly let you guys win the title next year.
Would you take that?
No,
would you?
What? And you end up in League One? Hell yeah!
A league title and an FA Cup for us.
Take it. I'll give you 2 FA Cups. Yeah. Would you take it?
Wait, get out of the mat. Can we have 2, please?
Would you take it, Ben? League title, FA Cup.
I would take it because I don't think there's a good chance I might not see one in my lifetime. So if you're guaranteeing me I will see a league title in my lifetime, I'll take that.
Next year. Yeah, I'm taking it.
Interesting.
League title next year to end up in League One. Yeah, we'll be back.
There you go, guys. And you wonder why I can't stand Spurs fans. They're talking about league titles.
Let me read
back 17.
Let me read you a comment out. And I tweeted this out the other day. And listen, I'm tongue-in-cheek, obviously, but this is why. People wonder why nobody likes them, right? So,
oh God,
Brother Musa 86. He says, I would like to thank you for taking part in the most talked about relegation battle due to the fact that football royalty was involved, the world famous Tottenham Hotspur. I hope we don't see you anytime soon, but good luck with your future endeavours.
I mean, it was much talked about, this relegation race.
And he's being polite. He's saying good luck to your future endeavours.
Yeah, he seems to be a nice guy. Seems
lovely, yeah. I bet
seems lovely. He seems lovely.
Yeah.
In terms of what will actually survival was obviously massive for us, because I think losing a massive proportion of our most valuable players would have been absolutely disastrous for us. The financials have been disaster. Now there's talk of Van der Ven potentially changing his mind and he wants to stay. A lot of the players have fully bought into Roberto De Zerbi, and De Zerbi himself, obviously, he's done a phenomenal job keeping us in the division. And I think him getting survival in the way that he did, I think has gotten so much faith from the fans, the players, and the board as well, that we have got the right manager here going forward, and we got the right guy to lead us into next season. And I think a lot of the players definitely can't speak highly enough of Roberto De Zerbi and how he's really changed everything, and how if he didn't come in, we probably would have got relegated if it wasn't for him. I think a lot of the players have really bought into him, and I think it was so crucial we stayed up.
I think it was 1 or 2 games just in time.
Yeah,
more games would have passed. I think,
and everyone was saying it was 1 or games too late.
Well, obviously the point to say so, but I think he was just appointed at the right time. And listen, we know what happened to Igor Tudor's, on the day that he lost his last game, and I think it was against Forest, weren't it? And the circumstances that happened to him, and fucking, nobody wishes that upon you. But that seemed to be, like a fucking what do you call it? A hand of God, helping you out at exactly the time.
That delayed it, though, didn't it? That delayed it. Because they were going to sack him.
I think they were always going to sack him at that point. That was kind of the feeling I got. But I think if we would have gone down, it would have been, I'm not saying people wouldn't have believed De Zerbi, because I think everyone's behind it, but it would have just delayed the proper effect he could have had on the club. But now we're staying up, and now we're going into next season in the Premier League. If we have a good summer and get some the right signings through the door, I think there's a lot of belief that De Zerbi can get us back on track a lot quicker than we could have hoped, really. I think everyone's really believing in him. But we are talking about our board. We are talking about our ownership, and them doing the right thing seems unrealistic at this point. There's been a hell of a lot of PR since the end of the season. We've had statements from the Lewis family, Charrington, our chairman, our CEO Vinay has done 2 long interviews with Tottenham and the BBC. So there's been a hell of a lot of publicity pushing the narrative that we screwed up this season, but next season's going to be different, and we're changing everything, and it's all Levy's fault that we're in this situation. They're now saying basically football hasn't been prioritised at this football club for too long, and now it's time to prioritise football again, and all this kind of stuff.
So you'll see in the next few months how committed we are to this club. You'll see.
Are you buying it?
Obviously not.
I mean, you say obviously not, but you're talking about what Leicester did and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Leicester didn't win the league because they got heavy investment, did they? They won the league because they got a bit lucky within the season.
Nobody else up against was really
that good. Well, yeah, pretty much. But
look, joking aside, what do you envisage I can't say that word.
Envisage.
Thank you. Happening this summer, and what would that lead into next season? Because let me just tell you from my perspective, I've heard all this before with Spurs, and it sounds to me like you're resetting another project. This is like our settings are back to phase 0 with what you're doing. We heard this under Ange, we heard it under Frank, we heard it under Nuno, who got
this is set to be the deepest reset yet, Nicky.
Are you guys and your fan base, are you buying it? And should you be buying it, or is the proof in the pudding?
The proof will be in the pudding. Look, they can say what they want to say. I'm not believing it until I see it right in front of my face. They can say that they want to turn us into a Champions League and title challenging team, but how many seasons can we listen to this bollocks from this board time and time again? No one's going to believe them until we actually see in front of our eyes. Look, the reality was, even before football was, put first, we were still spending a lot of money. We were just spending it in bad areas. So we got to get the scouting right. We got to get the right sporting director in. I think with De Zerbi at the helm, I think that could potentially help us pick players better. So I think we will spend money this summer. It's just about how we spend it and if we're going to spend it right. And I think with the players that we've got a decent nucleus for De Zerbi, and I think he can do well next season. I really believe that. I think we can finish in the top 7.
But who are you going to attract? This is a problem. I think.
Already got Andy Robertson, mate. Already got Andy Robertson through the door, wrapped up.
Yeah, and how good was he this season?
He had a decent season.
Right.
He didn't, man.
He was all right.
You lot are so deluded. But like, I'm looking at it, and I think Forest and Spurs are in a similar-ish position in terms of what they've got ahead of them next season. 1 game a week, no European football to offer, competing against teams now that do have European football. You got bloody Brighton, Bournemouth, and Sunderland if suddenly,
which could be our advantage. That'll be our advantage
within the league. I get that, but I'm talking in terms of what type of players can Spurs now go and attract, because everyone barring Chelsea has got European football from the Cartel 6 and yourselves.
But also, Wolfie, you got to remember as well, I think Spurs are going to be able to pay more in wages. And we've actually got a manager, I think, who's committed to a long-term project where Vitor Pereira, he's there for like a season, isn't he? If that. So I think
who are you competing with in the transfer window is what I'm getting to. Are you looking at maybe the players Chelsea want to get, or do you think you could snipe some of the other 4 that have got the European football, the Uniteds, Liverpools, etc.? Or is that kind of a tier above now where you can?
I think the Champions League teams, maybe minus Villa, are probably. We can't really compete with them right now. But I think
I was just about to say this to you guys, right? And I was. Do you think that Pep going and Maresca coming in at City could make them vulnerable?
Well, they could be relegated.
Vulnerable to what? Do you say?
I've heard that we could fucking stay up because of this.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's rumours that Pep heard about the 115 charges. What's about to happen? That's why he's
exactly.
I've heard that we could I have heard this, and I'm not going to try and give anyone any hope, but I've a couple of people rang me this morning and said to me, like, retrospectively, they could be relegated and we could be reinstated.
Yeah, that would be mental. But this stuff only happens to Nottingham Forest, so I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I think this is the best for all parties. I honestly do, the way it is. But wouldn't it be crazy that we've been doing this fucking show all this season? It would be absolutely fucking pointless.
Well, you know what? There'll be a silver lining, Nicky, because if that does happen, we can carry on this show all the way through next season.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Nicky's going to be gutted if they stay up.
Yeah, I know.
You're so getting used to the idea of being the championship.
We would be fucked next year. We would be fucked.
Nah, Nuno with a pre-season, mate. You'd be fine.
But yeah, but Wolfie, in terms of who we're challenging for in the transfer market, I think outside the Champions League clubs,
I think the Villas and the Newcastles and these kind of teams.
Do you think you could take on a Villa in the transfer market?
I do, because I think we can pay bigger wages than them, and they've got PSR problems. I'm sure getting Champions League football probably relieves that quite a bit, but I still think we've seen in the last couple of years they haven't spent massive. They've had to be very smart in the window. There's even talk of they might have to sell Rodgers. To fund
look at in January, Conor Gallagher, whatever you want to think about him is regardless, it doesn't really matter. He chose to join us over Aston Villa.
Don't do that, Ben. Don't do that.
It's true.
Don't do that, Ben. Don't do that without the context.
It's true.
Don't do that without the context.
What's the context?
I know. Why don't you lot tell me what the context is? Because I know you know it.
What's the context? That he wanted to join Tottenham?
The context is
Tottenham was
Villa
in his
wanted
heart,
to do it on a loan deal. Did they not?
Villa?
Loan with an option, I think. Is that true?
Obligation, no?
Loan with an obligation.
I don't really know.
It was initially going to be a loan deal, and he would have gone to Villa, but he wanted a permanent move. So don't do the whole
he would have gone, but then Tottenham came
shameless.
Calling. That's what happened.
Shameless.
Tottenham came calling.
London came calling. Bloody hell.
Exactly. I think we can beat you to signings, Wolfie. I'm pretty certain of that. Apart from from your players.
I hope so, because any signing Spurs are going for, I don't want my club anywhere near. But then again,
like it's white.
Well, I'm just saying, you couldn't get our players even when you had Champions League.
I've heard Gibbs White is still very open to the prospect of joining Tottenham Hotspur.
That's what I've heard. That's the rumours. Yeah, he's very open to it.
You guys want to run it again, man, with Marinakis? Try your luck again.
Let's do it.
Not after what I see him doing at some fucking basketball game.
Yeah, and that is true. I think Gibbs White will turn up to training with a black eye.
That's the real reason Wolfie's running the Marinakis PR. You know, he doesn't want to get on the bad side of it.
He doesn't want to get a knock on the door.
Exactly.
You lot would all take Marinakis at your clubs in a heartbeat over the crap you've got. Yo,
blink twice if you're in trouble.
Hey, I got hay fever kicking him, man.
Is there somebody standing behind the camera there? Just blink twice.
Hey, my owner, I still stand by it, is the best owner in the league. He doesn't get everything right, but at least he tries to correct things when he gets them wrong.
That's like a Trump-like kind of overpraise. Like, come on, he's the best. He's the.
Sim, would you take him? Would you take him at Spurs?
Over our owners, yeah.
Well, there you go then. So what you arguing?
Doesn't mean he's the best owner in the league.
Yes, he is. Name me a better owner.
I'll tell you there. I'm going to give him some praise. This geezer is a lunatic, right? And one of the greatest things I heard him say, and I've heard that he said, is he walked into the players that wanted to leave the club because of relegation, and he turned around and went, "Listen to me now. I am rich enough to keep you here. So you either fucking fight and you play in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest, or you don't play in the Premier League at all." And I think that's a fantastic attitude for an owner. You know, there's too many owners out there for me, right? And listen, I've been critical, but there's too many owners out there that just want to make money. Yeah. You know, when them bids come in for them Gibbs White and stuff, and they just want to, you know, they want these players to go for big money. You know, David Sullivan, fuck me, he could not wait for that £105 million for Declan Rice. Could not wait for it. You know, but there's too many owners like that. And it's quite refreshing to see a geezer saying, no, I am here to make this football club the best fucking football club I can make it. I don't give a fuck who comes in. I don't give a fuck what clauses are in the contract. And if I will stop it, I will stop it. Like, I'm not interested in your money. You can stick your money up your ass. And I'm here to make Nottingham Forest great. And I think that's a fantastic... Listen, I don't know what the fucking ins and outs of how he got his fucking money and all that. So that's a different conversation.
You don't want to know, Nicky. You don't want to know.
Yeah, no, maybe I don't want to know. But I'm just saying, it's quite refreshing to see someone that actually wants to develop the football club into something great, rather than just sit there and take fucking money when it comes, you know?
It's so true, Nicky. And by the way, the money was all legal. He owns the shipping.
I think I just saw a red dot on Nicky.
Yeah. You got that on a script there.
Just think about the message in now sense. Look, we've laughed and joked about the Gibbs White stuff, but now we know Elliot Anderson is sought after. Forest have come out this week and said, we're not looking to sell any of our players. They're talking about Murillo, Gibbs White, and Anderson. Just by saying that, you know that Anderson probably still goes, but there's no way he's going on whoever, if it's City or whatever's terms. It'll be on Marinakis' terms. Everyone will know what he did with Gibbs White and everything else. So, and Anderson
as well. He can't kick up a fuss.
Well, Anderson's not looking to leave. He's not looking to push him. No, as in he's not doing an Isak style strike or anything. If the offer comes,
he cares about his life. That's why.
Well, good for him. So look, I agree with everything Nicky said. Like, I think Marinakis should be being praised by all the other fan bases, and you should want your owners to be like him, because he only cares about Forest succeeding. He's seething. Do you know him and Edu fell out because when Forest was 3-0 up at Liverpool at Anfield, Edu left early. And Marinakis was kicking off that Edu didn't go down to congratulate the players and stay there to make sure it's a whole family knit unit and everything. And that's part of the reason why Edu will be going as well, because he didn't fall in line with the whole ethos that Marinakis has got. So that's an owner, boys. You guys don't have that.
Just admit one thing, Wolfie. Wolfie, just admit me one thing. We've got the better manager going into next season.
Why?
Just to ask you, tell me.
My manager's won more trophies than your manager.
So who's the better manager though?
I don't know is the honest answer. Like, De Zerbi, if we're being honest, De Zerbi did what? No one really heard of him before Brighton. And he did a really good job at Brighton, got him into European football.
Marseille, he was a good manager before Brighton. He was at Sassuolo, Shakhtar, did good jobs there.
So you could say the same about Pereira. Pereira's done those clubs and more.
Brighton,
and Pereira won trophies as well. So look, stylistically, I would say De Zerbi plays a better brand of football for what I, as a subjective opinion, would like. But at the same time, I think Pereira's done a cracking job. And I just think with Pereira, it's about longevity. He's never really hung around for more than 18 months at any club. So that is something that kind of alarm bells in the back of my mind. But style of football, I've enjoyed watching Pereira play over Nuno's style, over Cooper's style, definitely over Dyche's style.
Yeah, but we spoke after the 4-0 defeat to Villa. You weren't even sure you wanted him to stay.
But I wouldn't have wanted to stay on this planet after that 4-0 defeat. You're asking me when I'm raw and emotional about stuff. I've never called for.
And then we're going to hold you to those opinions.
You can hold me to the opinions, but I've never called for Pereira to go. I would have switched him out for Marco Silva because I think Marco Silva would work at Forest. But that's not me saying get Pereira out like I wanted Dyche out. But I think Silva's going to Benfica, so I'm more than happy with Pereira to stay on. But in terms of who's the better manager, I don't think either has really proved themselves, if I'm being objective, in the Premier League level, in the Premier League stage, to say that, yeah, you can tell this guy's better. It would just be a subjective opinion. I think, as I said, De Zerbi stylistically looks better, but again, he's a bit of a loose cannon. All the stories you hear about De Zerbi, I don't really need that in my club, man. We have enough going on.
You have Marinakis as your owner. What are you talking about?
We don't need more than that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need that.
Imagine that combo. Jesus.
Yeah, him and De Zerbi, like, could you imagine the conversations? So De Zerbi wouldn't work at Forest, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe. I just find it hard. I just find it funny you're saying I don't want that kind of character in my football club. And
because I've already got that character, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't need two of them. But yeah. But let me ask you boys on Forest.
I think, Wolfie, if you really believe Pereira was better, you would say, I think De Zerbi's better, because I think you're not shy about saying who's better at what. And now you're being all diplomatic because
But I would say De Zerbi is better if I thought De Zerbi is better. Again, I don't think you would.
I
would.
Because,
if you were to say
you just hate Spurs that much, you don't want to give us anything.
Well, let's put it like this: if you would say to me, if you're in a relegation battle, who would I rather have? I'd rather have Pereira. If I was pushing for a European spot, who would I rather have?
Did you not just see De Zerbi in a relegation battle?
Bro, I saw De Zerbi in a relegation battle, and he could only win at Birmingham and beat an Everton team that was on the beach.
He had 7 games. That's all he had.
He came in with 7 games to go. No other manager has done that, by the way, in the position that
Congrats, but isn't this the manager who told you he was going to win 5 games in a row? That didn't happen.
Fine, but he got 3 wins for a club He got 3 wins for a club that hadn't won in 4 months.
Okay, context. He beat the team that's the second worst team to ever grace the Premier League. He beat a Villa team who had the biggest match of their lives against my team a couple of days later and rotated. And he beat an Everton team that was completely on the beach. He messed up against Sunderland, who we slapped 5-0 at their ground a week or 2 later, by the way. He messed up against Brighton, couldn't hold out for a 2-1 win. You want to talk
slapping up? Talk about the Europa League semi-final. We beat that Aston Villa team that you got slapped up to a few days later.
They'd put out the same team that they put out.
It wasn't too different. There was only about 3 or 4 players different.
Oh, 3 or 4
also, players. They rested players against Liverpool, and Liverpool lost.
Yeah, how did he do against Chelsea as well, by the way, at Stamford Bridge?
We lost against Chelsea, all right? He's not going to win every game.
We were winless in 14 games when
you guys are doing what Spurs fans always do. You overhype mediocrity or averageness. That's what you do. You hype mediocrity into average and average into freaking Pep levels, man. It's like, I can't believe after 2 years of finishing 17th, you guys are still sitting here talking about a top 7 finish next season. And De Zerbi being the greatest.
You did it. You went from 17th to 7th.
Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't.
I'm saying it's possible.
It's possible, but you're not far.
United went from 15th to 3rd.
And where did you go from last year to this year?
Yeah, we hired Thomas Frank. We fucked up massively.
So do you remember at the start of the season when I said to you be happy with 16th, it would be progress? I'll make you the same.
We should have listened.
I'll give
you that, Wolfie. We should have listened.
But look, let's close with a quick bit on Forest, boys. I want to know what you think the future holds for Forest next season. Nikki, I'm going to come to you. I think I'll get more objective.
It's Premier League talk now, boys.
He's checked out. He's checked out.
Lincoln and that, man. Well, how do you see?
Jumping on a Lincoln stream now, lads. Sorry.
How do you see it going forward, Nikki, for Forest next season? Struggle or 1 game a week is better?
I think we're going to be back to what we were. It's going to be the 3 that come up will go straight back down, and I think everyone will be fine. And I listen. As I said before, I like Marinakis. I don't trust Tottenham's hierarchy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of these people you can't trust. What I will know is that whatever happens, Marinakis will do his fucking best to get Forest to finish as high as they can. You know, when you're looking at, you know, Tottenham, and I've heard a lot about Tottenham this year, I think they've got a fantastic manager, but he's a bit fucking batshit crazy. Let's be honest. He's not all the fucking ticket.
You need to be batshit crazy to be managing Tottenham. Let's be real.
I think so, yeah. But you know, he's one of them ones. He listen, and I think there's vulnerabilities there. You know, Chelsea are in fucking a mess at the minute. There's, you know, Man City are in a fucking. I'm not going to say they're a mess, but you know, you don't know what you're going to get with Maresca next year. You know, you just don't know what you're going to get. There's a couple of, you know, teams there that could be sort of in transition, and there's a spot there for somebody to take. Who's best? If I had to choose who's best placed to take it, I would have to say Tottenham. But that don't mean it goes like that. You know, and like what you see and what you get is two completely different things. What Tottenham do have to do, and I said this on a podcast earlier. You know, they have to sort of get some players out of that club that don't want to be at the fucking club. You know what I mean? Like, and that's important. And with Forest, yeah, I think it depends. They've got a lovely base of a lovely team now. They really have. And, you know, and if they can keep the players, and if, you know, people do listen to the Marinakis and you get the sort of Gibbs, because it could have been so easy for Gibbs White after what happened at the beginning of the season to down tools and not play. But he was fantastic. He should have been in the England squad. Without a shadow of a doubt, he should have been in the England squad. You know, he's better than a lot of them players that I've seen in that England squad, including Madueke. You know what I mean? Like, so he should have been there. So it's testament to him. And that's the character. You know, you're going to have that sort of that nonsense with Anderson. But if you can get that defence back solid and you know, maybe replace Chris Wood with a younger, faster version, I think they'll have a fantastic season. And I would trust Marinakis over any hierarchy to try at least to do the best he can. So I think Forest will be fine. I think Tottenham will be fine. But, you know, I think you'll both be pushing up the upper echelons of the league next year. Both of you. I don't think there's either going to be... I think you're going to be both top half. I don't think there's going to be another season
Who's going to finish higher, Nicky?
Tottenham.
There we
Tottenham
go.
will finish.
Up until that
that's
point,
what a West Ham fan will
really
That's what
going to
West
miss
Ham
you.
fan.
I don't think there'll be much in it, though. I really don't.
Well, I am going to miss you, Nicky.
Sorry, mate? Going to miss me? Oh, yeah, thanks, mate.
We'll still be doing stuff. All right, so let's finish off with crazy predictions for next season, boys. So the season is done. We say goodbye to West Ham. We say goodbye to Nicky, to Lawless, to Jason, all the other boys on there.
Let me make my prediction first. I think we're going to win the league.
You're going to go from relegated to winning the league? You nuts!
I'm telling you.
So, all right, let's do a prediction on each team. So, Nicky, next season, you're saying win the league?
Yeah, we win the league.
Yeah. Do you agree with him, boys?
No.
Ooh.
I think West Ham go to the playoffs next season.
8 teams in the playoff next year, by the way.
Yeah, you got down to 8th.
Six teams, yeah.
I think there's a chance West Ham win the playoffs next season.
I think Southampton win the league.
Yeah.
Or just make sure your bushes are high enough if Southampton.
Yeah.
I reckon West Ham finish top 2, though. I do think they get promoted, but automatically. I think Pereira gets sacked in October.
Well, we'll do one at a time. We'll do one at a time.
Sorry, okay, go on.
The only thing that worries me about West Ham is I think everyone looks at it as their cup final next season. And if you look at 2 seasons ago, Luton finished 18th, double relegation. Last season, Leicester finished 18th, double relegation. This season, West Ham finished 18th. Who knows? I don't know.
I think if there's going to be a double relegation, I would say that would be Wolves.
It could very well
be Wolves, yeah. Could be Wolves on that one. I think you'll be in and around the playoffs. I don't think you'll win the league. I hope you do. I want West Ham back in it. And I can't wait to watch West Ham Millwall, man. That's going to be crazy, man. What's it called? Is it the Docks Derby? Is that...
Mate, how are you going to be doing fan cams outside of Millwall?
You know what? I've been to West Ham Millwall games. I've been Millwall away. I've been you know, I've been over the years, and they are naughty. They are fucking naughty. And I'm sitting here now thinking to myself, fucking hell, like, it's got to be one of the worst times to be probably one of the most recognisable West Ham fans going to fucking Millwall, you know what I mean? Popping up with a light and a fucking camera. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. If I have to come away from I used to have to come away from the old White Hart Lane because we couldn't do it there because of violence and stuff, you know what I mean? So, but I'll do it. You know, I'll find a way. I'll find somehow.
I can't wait to see.
There's some Millwall fan watching this right now saying, "No, you fucking won't. No, you
sitting there fucking drawing a picture down.
Yeah. Wanted, dead or alive, preferably.
I remember the last time we played them. This is God's honest truth. They put out a bounty on the head of the statue of Bobby Moore. So if you can get that head off the statue of Bobby Moore at the ground, they was going to give you something like 25 grand.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I did see a documentary on it quite recently where I think there was a guy who did some charity run from one of the stadiums to the other. I think he was a Millwall fan wearing a West Ham top. Or the other way around.
Do you know what? There's been over the years. There's been some good crosswords with West Ham Millwall. You know, the rivalry's there, and it always will be there. But you know, we are very similar people. We are very similar working class people. We're people from the docks. You know, different side of the fucking docks. That's the issue. But you know, when there is things like that, when football doesn't matter, then you know, we're very much, you know, and we're very much got a lot of respect for each other. So, but don't expect that to come into the football. Don't expect that to come into the football.
Oh, mate, I know one of my old boss is a Millwall fan, and the only thing that gave him solace when they went out of the playoffs this season.
Seeing us go down.
Seeing you go down. Yeah. So, he was,
they can't wait for us. We can't wait for them.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So that's predictions on Millwall. What are you boys saying to Forest? Go on, you two can start. Relegation.
Forest, I'm going to say 13th, 14th. Upgrade on last season.
Okay.
That's it. No trophies.
I think Vitor Pereira tanks it in the first couple months. Marinakis gets a bit annoyed, a bit angry, storms into Pereira's office. And
there's a missing persons case.
Missing persons. We don't know where he is. And then you turn to another former Tottenham manager who you would hate. And in October, Thomas Frank gets appointed Nottingham Forest manager to help save you. He keeps you up. Marinakis gives him the full-time job. And we get to see Wolfie's face every week having to watch Frank ball. And you end up finishing around, 14th. That's my prediction.
And then he gets sacked, and they bring in Sean Dyche, and he's like, "I wish we still had Thomas Frank."
I hate you for even putting that thought in my mind.
I think you finished 10th.
Okay. And win a trophy.
No,
just 10th.
Nah, don't think so, mate. Nah.
I don't know yet, man. I don't know. I'm gonna say 9th.
I was gonna say 9th as it happens. I was gonna say
I think 9th, and maybe get some kind of European spot depending on how low.
What prediction does Pereira last the season?
Mate, no manager lasts the season of Forest. Man, what are you talking about? I've seen more managers than I have years on my life, man. But yeah, I think there's too many teams in Europe that will have what Forest had this season, will have what Newcastle had. There's 9, there's new ones to it. Brighton, Bournemouth, Sunderland, and so on. So I think it actually makes the league easier for the likes of Forest, Forest, Spurs, Newcastle, etc.
I'll bump you up, but you're right. I'll bump you up to 11th.
Oh, okay. Thanks, mate. Yeah. See, silver tongue and all that. So I think 9th. But on Spurs...
Go on, just say it, Wolfie. I know you're dying to say it. Go on, say it.
I'd love to say relegation, man.
Say it, go on.
Put your balls on the table. Come on.
I think you'll have a better season next season than this season. I think you finish...
See how he's saying this so begrudgingly.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
I think you finish 8th.
Above you?
Yep.
You were saying we're going to finish above Forest next season?
Yep.
I never thought I'd ever hear Wolfie.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, why?
I don't want to.
Give us a really detailed reasoning.
I don't. I mean, ask me again at the end of the transfer window. Yeah.
Forget the just remember,
I told you to. I told you to. Last 2 years we finished above you, so I was right then.
But wait, you can't. What you say? We're going to finish above you, but you can't say De Zerbi's a better manager than Pereira.
I just think you'll pump silly money into this summer. That's why. You don't have to be a great. I could manage.
You believe in it.
I could manage your squad right now into the top 10, boys. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard. Right? You're just so badly run. You're so badly run. I could manage your team into relegation. Actually, that'd be funnier. But yeah, I'm gonna say 8th for Spurs.
And trophy?
What are you saying, Nicky?
Carabao, FA Cup?
No trophies. I mean, you guys don't do trophies.
I would say the same. 8th.
Yeah.
I would say I was going to go a bit higher. I was going to go 7th, but no, I think there's a couple of teams up there that still do well this year. But yeah, I think 8th. But I think you're going to have an easy season, both of you. Nice, relaxed.
There's nothing easy.
I could do with one of those, you know. I could do with one of those. They're very rare. Dare I ask, boys, what of the top 4 positions are you finishing in?
I am saying we're going to go on a cup run, FA Cup run, maybe a semi-final or a final. I might win one of those. And I'm going to go top 7, but 7th being it's going to be Europa League spot because of all how fucked the Premier League is.
So you're saying 7th?
7th. Top 7. 7th, yeah. 7th.
Fair.
I'm going to go 6th. Spurs finish in the top 6.
I want you to clip up that laugh right there. And when we finish 6th, that's just going to be our intro to every video.
Maybe we'll get them to play it on the big screen.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it on the big screen in Tottenham, yeah.
It's just he said it with such a straight face, man. Like, oh my God, man.
It's only 2 places higher than you said. It's not ridiculous.
We'll see. Right, on that bombshell, let's wrap it up. It's been a cracking little mini series we've done. We hope you guys have enjoyed it.
I have very much enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it as well.
Good. It's been the highlight of the week for me.
Yeah, and I'll see you in a couple of years.
Well, you know, as long as you guys watching have enjoyed it, that's the main thing. Make sure you subscribe to everyone. Make sure.
Maybe we should carry this on. You know, it'll be good to check in on Nicky to see how he's doing.
Our championship.
Yeah. We could do a monthly update thing if you want.
Well, let's ask the guys in the comments. Yeah. If you want this to continue, let us know in the comments. And of course, at the very least, make sure you put a little note of condolence there for Nicky in there as well.
Why I've got your audience, both of you, local Nicky. Because I'm not going to be earning any money at fucking West Ham and I need to make some money somehow. So go and subscribe to Local Nicky, please, because that is going to be more broader. And I'll probably be visiting Tottenham at some point. I'll probably visit Forest at some point. I think I may not be. I don't know. I think I might be actually covering Arsenal this week. So, yeah.
Well, you're going to the game?
No, we'll see.
Not. Okay, don't want to say. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, go and check that out. Local Nicky there. I'm with Midnight Sports, and yeah, that's the video I've done this week about the downfall of West Ham. So there we go. Thank you very much.
There you go. We'll leave the links for it. I'm sure the boys will as well in the comments. So make sure you go check that out. Right, we'll see you maybe again, maybe not. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching. Come on, you Reds.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Lions.